I'm Paul Lin. Artist Colette Fu creates one-of-a-kind works that combine photography, bookmaking, and sculpture. She makes pop-up books. But what she does with them will change the way you think about this medium. It's a fantastic place of wonder, the pop-up world of Colette Fu. Think of a three-dimensional National Geographic.
This is Ashi Fire Festival.
Her books present places you've likely never visited, people you've never met before, cultures you haven't experienced. It's off-road travel with a guide who takes you places that few get the chance to see in person, and in a way that's both unexpected but immediately accessible.
I guess for the most part, most people, or almost everybody, when they open up any pop-up book, including mine, there's always an element of surprise, a big smile and delight and awe, and that's what intrigues me a lot about the form.
That old adage, don't judge a book by its cover, definitely applies here. Flat when closed, these books unfurl with an explosion of information and color. Then, just as quickly, they fold down flat, ready to amaze the next viewer.
So this is a story based on an ancient scroll of the Naxi people where they talk about a journey of man.
Most of Colette's current work centers on Yunnan, home to more ethnic minorities than any other province in China. Over 2 decades, she's visited China a half-dozen times. Her photographs capture rich diversity, presenting how ethnic groups live their lives right now, sharing some of their customs and cultural identity. Like the Yao women of Baiyi village. Colette asked why some wear special red hats.
She said that there was a story about when the women would walk through the forest, the leader would wear red plantain flower on their head. So that evolved into this hat, which to them represents leadership.
Colette wasn't always so interested in China. Growing up in New Jersey in the 80s made it tough for her to identify with her heritage. Kids could be mean, and there were few other Asians at school apart from her 2 older sisters. So Colette did what any teen would have done in the Madonna era. She bleached her hair.
I like to peroxide my hair and spend a couple hours every morning curling it and hairspraying it. I'd use like 1 bottle of extra hold Aquanet a week. And love to wear like purple lipstick, things like that.
None of this helped Colette deal with her own ethnicity. By her mid-20s, she found herself traveling to China for the first time on a trip that included a stop in Kunming, the capital of Yunnan, her mother's home province. There she learned her great-grandfather had not only once been governor of the province, he also helped start a university. Learning her family history filled Colette with a sense of pride, so when she got a job offer to teach English there, she accepted and stayed for 3 years.
Over the course of those 3 years, I started traveling, taking pictures of places that I ended up traveling to, often alone. I realized that that's something I enjoyed.
Colette enjoyed it so much that when she returned to the U.S., she formally studied photography both at the undergraduate and graduate levels. She also did artist residencies to learn how to make pop-up books and use her photography. In subsequent years, Colette returned to China on a Fulbright scholarship and more recently on an award from the Liwei Foundation. She also went to Shanghai on an artist residency, designing what would become the biggest pop-up book in China, measuring about 8 by 16 feet.
It was titled I Love Shanghai because there's I Love Shanghai icons all over the buildings in LED lights. I rode around on my bicycle and took pictures of different well-known Shanghai sites.
Beyond photography trips, Colette exhibits her works extensively, including here at the Center for Book Arts in New York, where we conducted our interview. She spends time on the road lecturing and teaching the art of pop-up books to a diverse audience around the world.
I like teaching pop-up book structures because there are not a lot of people that teach it. You can combine it with a lot of different mediums. Like I've taught at the animation department at CalArts and illustration students and printmaking students, book arts,
It also allows Colette to connect and bring attention to different marginalized communities. In Philadelphia's North Chinatown, she worked with a homeless shelter called the Sunday Breakfast Rescue Mission. She did workshops with men seeking to stay clean and sober.
A lot of the pop-ups I do, I think, are trying to create this visibility or tell a story that normally wouldn't be heard or people might not have interest in it.
Going forward, Colette has no shortage of photographs to make more books. One of her goals, to publish a large coffee table pop-up book combining her work on China's ethnic minorities. She'd also like to go bigger.
I'm working on an installation right now, so there can be more of a interactive, as in you can go in the room and touch the work.
There's no way to experience this work except in person. Check Colette's website for exhibitions and workshops in your area. I'm Paul Lin for Asian American Life.